You're watching Cars.tv.
My name is Sid Sullivan, and I really don't have a title. I'm just a dad with two boys, and we're here at the Grand National Roadster Show. This car is a 1934 5-window coupe, and I picked this car up, I think about 2.5 years ago out of Auburn, California. We're located in Boise, Idaho, and my two boys, they're grown adults, and I do about anything to spend time with them, and they like cars, and so for some reason they got all into this 1934 Ford Coupe thing, and I like them as well, and so we started looking, and this one came up on the ham, and I did some research on it, found it, and bought the car and brought it back. And the car that we bought was basically just a rolling car. It didn't have a motor, it wasn't gonna drive, but it did have some tires and it had a front end and rear end in it. Really wanted to figure out how we were gonna make the look of the car. We were looking for that 60s hot rod, and so we wanted a rake, get that back end up a little high, get some bigger tires on it. And so we started sourcing parts that would make it actually look good, and spent maybe the better part of 3 or 4 months doing that. And once we got that done, we decided on a basic design of the car, and we really started to focus in on that Bonneville style. You know, most people just stick with that cool looking 34 grille. And so the original car that we had an older nose looking style like this one has, but it just wasn't gonna work. It was beat up and it just wasn't gonna fit a radiator. And so we started looking at how we could come up with a hood that we could get 6 Stromberg carburetors, some great Thinkston old school looking scoops coming out the top. And we bought a 41 International hood. And we don't know what we're doing. We just decided, hey, let's mock it up there, get a cutoff wheel and start cutting it up, get some round rod, and just start molding and getting sheet metal and figuring out how we can make something look. And originally we thought we'll put something like a LaSalle front end on it or a grill. And then we thought, no, people already do that. We got to do something different. And then on one night, I decided, hey, maybe we ought to do something like the Corvette grill teeth, to just put them vertical. My sons and I have been going to vintage drag racing for years. And one of the things that we've noticed about drag cars from the 50s and 60s and early 70s is these real flashy colors. And I've always been intrigued by it. I mean, that's what they did to their dragsters, is they just painted these crazy styles. And last year we came to the Roadster show here, and we were looking at a guy that was displaying some helmets, and there was a helmet that had some pink in it and some magenta colors. And I'm like, I got to get a rendering of pink. And my sons were like, oh my gosh, nobody does pink, and there's a reason. It's hard to pull off. So he drew up the rendering in pink, and we laid them all out, and I'm like, I mean, pink is it. There's gonna be people who are gonna love it, and there's gonna be people who hate it. And I said, you know what? When people get their 34, they can paint their 34 how they want it, but this is how I want my 34.